Hello there, Internet. My name is Mogwai, and ahead of us lies yet another brilliant day in the arena as we did it. We got the upload for tonight. I thought I was not going to be able to upload a video today because the servers went down after the expansion released, and they were down for like well over an hour. And I lost hope because I live in Europe and it's really late as I'm recording this intro, but I am going to be able to get this video around midnight, which is better than nothing and really great because I thought this video would have to wait for tomorrow, and that's not the case. So shout outs to Wizards for fixing the server problems just in time for us as we got, ladies and gentlemen, our first deck. Post-rotation, Bloom Barrow filled deck. Actually, we don't have that many Bloom Barrow cards in it, but it's a post-rotation standard deck, and I have been waiting for this moment ever since I got back into Magic, man. It's the moment in which standard is just completely brand new, and I am all for this. And I have a deck, ladies and gentlemen, that I have had tremendous success with, and a deck that led to a very, even though I have a very small window to record the video, the recording session was so smooth. It was like the easiest recording session ever, actually. And it's because of this bad boy right here. You may think, oh, it's okay, I get it. It's an Orzhov Bats deck. Guess again, Timmy. Come on, you know me better than that. We're way too edgy to do the obvious thing. And I wanted to actually do a little bit outside the box thinking for this deck. I wanted to build a deck around ZORALINE that was actually not a bat deck. In fact, ZORALINE Cosmos Color is the only bat that we have in this deck. And the entire concept of this deck is inspired by the combination of ZORALINE and Helping Hand. When I read ZORALINE, I looked at Helping Hand and I saw a lot of potential there. So I'm going to dive into what this deck is about, why we ended up choosing this for a ZORALINE debut, and why I chose the cards that I chose and how the deck functions and all that. If you're not interested in this, because we're just going to ramble about the deck here, there are chapters within the video. You can skip directly towards the gameplay, and, you know, I won't judge you for it. It's listed there for a reason. But for those of you who want to know why this works the way it works and why I chose the cards that I chose, let's get on to it, shall we? So I was looking over the cards. In my multicolored review, I was very impressed with this card. I was just really attached to it immediately. Like, I really liked it, and I'm gonna try to explain why. So ZORALINE is a 3-mana 3/3 legendary bat cleric creature with flying and vigilance, an ability that says whenever a bat you control attacks, you gain 1 life. That's the first text, and that leads you to believe that, you know, this card is obviously designed to be played in a bat tribal deck, right? It allows you to really capitalize on the synergies within the bats with life gain providing them with +1/+1 counters, life gain translating into damage as well. Like, they have a lot of tricks to really, you know, and the more bats you have with this ability, the better, because you'll be able to proc this effect more, you know, because it says whenever a bat you control attacks. So it counts for every bat that is attacking. But what I found really compelling was the latter portion of the text in this ability. Whenever ZORALINE enters or attacks, you may pay 2 mana, 1 white, 1 black, and 2 life. When you do, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield with a finality counter on it. The finality counter, as you can read right there, says if a permanent with a finality counter on it would go to a graveyard from the battlefield, you exile it instead. So we have ways to get rid of these finality counters because we are at our core, not at our core, we are a bounce Reanimator deck. Yes, you heard me right. We are a bounce Reanimator deck, and what makes us different from the standard Reanimator bounce decks with Orzhov is that we also incorporate graveyard interaction. We are running a full set of Helping Hand, which I've always thought was a really powerful sorcery from white, because it's just 1 mana, and just for 1 mana being able to bring back a 3-drop from your graveyard onto the battlefield is tremendous value, tremendous momentum or tempo more than anything, but it can also lead to really good value as well, especially if you run this in a deck that is dense in upon entry effects, right? Because if we get that value from the upon entry effect immediately as we play this, then we are less vulnerable to disruption from the opponent for us to get the value out of that card. So what we have going on here is a deck with a high density of 3-drops that is trying to that's running this kind of curve to maximize Helping Hand's value, and a lot of upon entry effects that are highly disruptive. We are a low curve mid-range deck. This is not an aggro deck, but it also does have a lower curve than other mid-range builds because it is a deck that is essentially capping at 3 mana. When it comes to our creatures, nothing goes above 3 mana, right? So you may look at this deck and may think, well, your overall power output is weak. Like, you don't really, like, what happens when you face these mid-range builds or these control builds or these ramp builds that just reach a point in which they just start to bully you, right? With stronger, bigger cards. We try to prevent them from getting to that point. The strength within this deck lies in its disruptive potential. What I mean by this is we fuck around with everything our opponent. Like, we attack the hand and we attack the board. And we do so relentlessly, again and again, until they have no cards in hand and they have no board. And then we beat them down with our critters. That's the game plan with this deck. You're not going to have these flashy, like, one-turn huge hits on your opponent, but you're slowly but surely going to be wearing them down, and they're going to be top decking. They're going to have nothing going on for them, and then you're just going to beat them down and finish them off. So that is the plan with this deck, and it's really consistent to do that. Like, I had, I don't want to spoil the games, man, but let's just say we made an attempt to reach mythic rank with this after me like playtesting the deck for a while, and I was like on a 5-game win streak before recording the video, in case you're wondering. So it's pretty, like this deck has exceeded my expectations in that regard, but the sample size is still small, so keep that in mind. We have Unscrupulous Agent as a 2-drop. Upon entry, our opponent exiles a card from their hand. We obviously bouncing this is really good. We have some key bounce components within the build with Guardian of Garapor. We have a couple of copies of Fortune Loyal Steed. We have the Tithing Blade. All these entry effects and all these cards that can exile and bring them back onto the board really function well together, especially when paired with Graveyard Resurrection with ZORALINE and Helping Hand. The reason why I like ZORALINE with Helping Hand a lot is because if I Helping Hand ZORALINE, then I can pay 2 mana and with ZORALINE resurrect something else. So I can chain Reanimate with ZORALINE and Helping Hand, and I can also trigger a bunch of these effects and capitalize on Guardian of Garapor just bouncing everything. We have Lord Skitter's Butcher. We have 9 Vermin. Since we do have some rats and we do have bats, we are running 2 copies of Mudflat Village. There is some synergy there. And regarding new cards, we also have Parting Gust, which can be removal in a pinch, but can also allow us to bounce something from our board as well, which is really neat. But the idea is we have some self-milling here with 9 Vermin alongside a sack fodder, because we are running stuff like Ruthless Lawbringer and we are playing Lord Skitter's Butcher, which can either generate us tokens or sack fodder for us to scry to and draw. And we have a deck that is comprised of just everything has upon entry effects so that we can bounce them with stuff like Another Round. Another Round can allow us to recycle these effects, bring them all back onto the board, generate all the tokens, sack and kill the stuff, resurrect stuff, all that shit can be done with Another Round, while Kyla's Reconstruction can allow us to bring a bunch of cards from the top of our deck onto the board and act as card draw, really, for this deck. That can really allow us to capitalize on the low nature of our curve because it targets cards with mana value 3 or less, which can be either creature or artifacts, which is essentially what we're running. Barring stuff like sorceries and instants that we run in some cases here, most of our deck is creatures and artifacts in Tithing Blade that can be brought out with Kyla's Reconstruction. So these 2 spells, as a 2 of each, gives us some high-end muscle plays that can completely overwhelm the opponent despite the low curve of our deck. So Ruthless Lawbringer is a very key card. It allows us to destroy any non-land permanent by sacking a creature. We have stuff like a one-off of Resolute Reinforcements alongside a couple of copies of the Butcher, and then of course Gnawing Vermin and these Unscrupulous Agents, which we do want to kill, because by killing them, we get to send them to the graveyard and potentially bring them back with Helping Hand or ZORALINE. So it's not just about self-milling ourselves with 9 Vermin or stuff like Shadowy Backstreet, but also just killing our own stuff with one of these 2 creatures can allow us to start filling up that graveyard and bring those cards back. Fortune can allow us to, re-trigger the upon entry effects. And there's just so many crazy combos within this core that I could go on and on and on forever talking about them, but it's just, it's a balanced Reanimator deck, okay? TLDR, we play a bunch of upon entry effects, we send stuff to the graveyard, we bring it back, we send it again, we bring it back, we bounce everything, we bring it back, and then the opponent gets tired of it and they quit. That is actually a true story. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you're excited for the very first deck that we're showcasing here. I put a lot of thought into it, and I wanted to, like I said, bring something a bit more unique and perhaps something that you would not be expecting, and keep you guessing in that regard. You know, you never know what I'm going to throw at you in this channel. So I'm ready to just get my hands dirty and get brewing, man. Right after I record this video, I'm going back to the drawing board and making more decks. So really excited for that. So I'm going to stop talking. Love you. Have a solid day. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Magic the Gathering content. Leave a like for bats. Even if it's just one of them. Don't be the elitist. Have a solid day. Enjoy the matches. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Late night recording session. Here we go. Didn't think I'd get a video out for today, but just as I wrote the community post, the server was back. I mean, it's like 10 minutes later, but you know, for dramatic intensity, I'm going to say that it happened right at the moment I typed that in, as we got Jake the Dog. Jake the Dog, who can't spell, is our first opponent. We have a pretty decent hand. We have Helping Hand early on, which is, you know, not a card that we do have in our opener immediately, but it is nice to have that resource. This is interesting because we have the Helping Hand. We could just bring back the Unscrupulous Agent, but I like the idea of playing Unscrupulous Agent into Ruthless Lawbringer. Another round could also be very powerful, but if I get rid of a Swamp, that could be pretty dangerous. This is an important decision here. I'm gonna get rid of the Swamp. I may regret this. Another round could be extremely valuable, but perhaps I should have discarded it. Them milling us is going to help us, potentially. Oh, yeah. We're going to drop the Unscrupulous Agent and start targeting their hand. And I could lose this game because I discarded the land. I got greedy with another round, and I am regretting that decision. I'm regretting that decision big time. They continue to apply pressure on us, and yeah, regret that decision. We get rid of Gisa. They run that even though it doesn't synergize with their game plan. Hopefully, I can. Oh my god! Thank God. Let's develop Fortune. And let's keep things like this. I'm getting really pressured by this Vadmir. Okay. Not gonna make the same mistake again. Gonna take this hit, and now we're looking to stabilize here. It's been a bit of a clunky ride, you know, dropping that Swamp definitely hurt us here. And we're going to take the hit, drop down to 6, which is quite low. The Restless Vents cannot be used right now, as they develop the Vile Smasher Grenadier here. And we hold back. We are, the problem is we're so low, but we can heal back with the ZORALINE here. Oh boy, okay. Okay, we're stable, but the problem is we're very, very low on health. But I can develop Lord Skitter's Butcher. I can spawn a black rat token. I can attack with you. Auto pay. Bring back the Ruthless Lawbringer. Sack the rat. Kill Jasper. Fuck you, Jasper. Nobody likes you. And we heal one with ZORALINE, which prevents us from dying from a top deck legendary creature here. But that's not the case. It's just a Forsaken Miner. We're fine. We're fine. We're low, but we're not dead. And I kind of want to destroy that. We can use this to recycle something. Let's swing first. We're gonna decline because we die. I don't know what why they're doing that. And again, we cannot put ourselves in a position where we die. So we're gonna go for another round, but we're gonna double it. Set X to 1. And we make him quit! That was a tight one. That was a tight one, but we just barely managed to stay alive. And yeah, we got to showcase early game 1. I cannot ask for more. Let's get to that mythic rank though, shall we? Okay. Khan will be our second opponent. As we got a playable hand. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a playable hand with that Concealed Courtyard turn 1. We have answers for an early threat, which we will go for the Tithing Tithe. The Tithing Blade. I'm mixing my cards here. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm in a situation where I actually do not have enough. I'm above the Unscrupulous Agent. I can't play that in the Numbing Vermin because of my lands here. But I'm still going to prioritize this because we do expect them to potentially have some removal. And I want to start attacking their hand. They play In the Trenches. 3-mana enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+1. And that can trigger that after. Okay. We have another Swamp here, which is nice. We're going to go for the Gnawing Vermin here. We're going to mill ourselves. We hit a creature. I repeat, we hit a creature. And that kind of wants me to... Yeah, I want to play ZORALINE because of that. Because now with ZORALINE I can resurrect the Guardian. They only have planes, so... Okay, there's the Yazification. And that is an easy target for us to deal with. I kind of would like to... Okay. I'm gonna play Tithing Blade and keep the Parting Gust open. And before we reach the main phase, that's why I stopped in the main phase too. I'm gonna go for the Parting Gust. On to you. And that way, as we pass to the end of phase, we get it back and we get to get rid of the last card right at the end of their turn. Look at that. Look at that ossification. Gone. Absolutely gone. Look at that Helping Hand. Good shit. I'm gonna attack because I don't think they're gonna block with that, and then I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna target the Tithing Blade here, and I'm gonna get rid of that recruitment officer. No recruiting for you. You ain't got no army. You ain't got nothing. And another one down, baby. There we go. One away from Mythic rank. Let's do this. I'm actually on a huge win streak. Like, I started recorded here, but I've been winning, like, I started, like, testing this deck in low, like, very bottom Diamond 2. And this deck is just, like, bopping everybody. All right, Wired Nevi. You're our final boss for Mythic. And it's a 4-lander, but we got Guardian of Garapur with Tithing Blade, so I'm going to keep this. It's a 4-lander going first. Like, we are vulnerable to Mana Screw, but we have 24 lands in this deck, so the odds of us getting flooded do exist, but they're not as high as they could be. It's just, I'm just coping here, like. Oh, okay. I want to drop this Restless Fortress now. Since we have no target for Tithing Blade. They mill away a Nom and Vermin. Seems like it's Golgari. Golgari mill, okay. That is threatening. Two creatures there. Tithing Blade. Who goes in now? Well, I guess nobody. I have no targets, man. I'm gonna swing first. And then I'm going to play the Guardian of Garapur. And I'm going to target my Nom and Vermin. And I'm going to continue to mill myself. We prevent some mana flood there, which is nice. I'm gonna play the Lord Skitter's Butcher. I'm gonna sack the Vermin. I do like you. And that way I get rid of the Snarling Gorehound. Okay, they keep milling. That's pretty spooky. That's a big ass graveyard right there. But we do have another round. With another round, we can basically bounce these twice. I'm gonna go for another round, and I'm gonna choose X1. And I'm gonna do it again. And now, doesn't really matter the order, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna target you and you. And then we're gonna generate token. And then at the end of this, at the beginning of the end step, Tithing Blade comes in. They have to sack one. Did I not attack? I may have forgotten to attack, actually. Scry 2, then draw a card. Did I forget to attack? There's a Skyfisher Spider. We have 6 mana. They're going to be able to gain a lot of health here. We're going to do this. They do exile to gain all that health, and that's a huge problem because now I have a big, like, now I'm just like really, there's so much health that I have to tear down, and they may be able to outmuscle us at this point. They drop us a Skyfisher Spider without anything else though, and that's fantastic. Because yeah, they can heal 1 billion. I can find ways to just keep pushing through. So we're gonna do this. They're gonna go to 39, man. Like, that's just... that's a lot. But that Spider exiled means, I mean, to be fair, if they have any sort of like graveyard interaction, we're kind of toast. They just keep playing these Skyfisher Spiders with like no targets. We got ZORALINE there. And we keep pressing through. And they have 1 million health. There's like a bug right now going arena. I cannot check my opponent's Okay. They're out of gas, though. I repeat, they're out of gas, and what do we have here? We have a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, ZORALINE. ZORALINE's time to shine. Comes in, we pay the price, and we return you. The Ruthless Lawbreaker! And then we're gonna sack... who are we gonna sack? You. -1, and dead. Now we get to saddle. You. And we got a lot of health to tear down. I'm gonna sack that so I can draw. We have another ZORALINE there. That's not bad. And they call it quits! That is a perfect streak! 2 mythic! That was lag. I did not lag, they lagged. There we go! Nice! People just like see that value engine and they're like, I'm out of here. That was a weird ass game. They played back-to-back spiders because we kept removing them. Because we kept removing the spiders proactively, they weren't able to like actually trigger the spider to kill some of my stuff, which was really, really important that game. We're just like 23 minutes in though. Like we literally just had 3 games. We went into Mythic, so let's go for another one. Tempo 7th will be our first mythical opponent. I want to say like that for, you know, dramatic intensity. Let's keep this. It's a 4-lander, but we got plays. It's the Boros Manland. Okay, we're gonna drop the Concealed Courtyard and play the Unscrupulous Ancient. It's about time to get dirty. Laughing Jasper Flint. Okay, so it's Mardu. They don't have... No, it's a concealed courtyard. I just didn't notice because of the... that's a beautiful art. Holy crap. Okay. Let's think a little bit here. How do I reach these kids? I gotta... Like, it seems a little bit early for ZORALINE. But at the same time, like, we do have a helping hand, so... I'm gonna keep Unscrupulous Agent in the back. Am I? Yes, I am. Because that way I threaten to block with it. Like, if they do remove ZORALINE this turn, then I can still block with the Unscrupulous Agent. And the Fireglass Mentor will trigger whenever they deal damage to me. So obviously they have ways beyond combat to deal damage with me. That's what lizards do. But right now this is the only lizard on the board. They have 3 mana and they have a threat that they want to deal with. So there's a lot. Okay, Tomic goes down. Tomic goes down. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking, yeah, so I cannot attack with more than... Okay, but that's not the worst here. I'm gonna play the Mudflat Village. And first off, I'm gonna swing with you just to gain a life. Then I'm gonna play the Unscrupulous Agent. We'll get rid of a land. I probably will get rid of that. Even though that does... give him a land. Oh no. Okay. The Caves of Coilers they can use really well against us. So Mardu Lizards, huh? Keeping the Unscrupulous Agent in the back is important so I can block into their attacks. But then they can play a Tithing Blade and I can sack it. They've already played a land, so I have no reason to block with that. I'm gonna attack with you. And then I'm gonna play Helping Hand to bring out the other Unscrupulous Agent, and I'm gonna attack their hand again. Because now's the moment to do so. They got a Restless Fortune. Oh, Warden of the Inner Sky. Okay. Okay. But this is why we run cards like Kyler Reconstruction in the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have no 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could go for X4, or we could go for X2, and then try to use ZORALINE to like recycle one of these. But I can't attack with ZORALINE with that thing in there anyway. So let's just do. Four. Look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna do it like this. They sack a creature, we mill 2 cards, we then sack a creature ourselves. I'm gonna choose for this. And smack him. Kyla's Reconstruction, tremendous value there as they go for Cantorius Canned. Oh boy. This is Discover 4. What is that?
Some mysteries beg to be solved.
Okay, so they play that, and that allows them to discard their hand and draw 2 cards. This thing can still not fly. When did they deal damage to me again? Oh, with this thing. Okay, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then I have the ability to do that. I can do this. I can sack you. Destroy that. And I think we got lethal. Because we do this. We sack you. We take you out. And now we use the Restless Fortress. And I clicked too fast. And we go in. Boom! On a roll, baby! On a roll! Let's go! Resin Tooth. All right. Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Can we keep this insane streak going on? Oh my god. We got Non-Vermin, Unscrupulous Agent. Good early plays. I could be compelled to develop Shadowy Backstreet first though. But I can also see myself going for back-to-back Unscrupulous Agent. So let's actually curve out with our hand in mind. Like, let's turn 1 Vermin, turn 2 that. Yeah. 9 Vermin, self-mill to potentially send some stuff that we can use for Helping Hand. And then Unscrupulous Agent. It's time to get dirty. Slowly but surely attack the hand. That's how this deck operates. Low curve, attack the hand, attack the board. And then win with 3 drops. Okay. We're gonna go with the Plains into Unscrupulous Agent. They're tapped out, so we don't need to play mind games with the attack or anything like that. Like, they're completely tapped out, so we're just gonna... The order doesn't matter here. We take a look at what they exiled. They exiled a Swamp, and they do run Trumpeting Carnosaur. This could be a Reanimator deck. I know, like, nostalgia, or oh my god. Nostalgia or whatever, but these lands are hideous. I don't care what anybody says. Hideous. I'm gonna go with the Mudfar Village. I'm gonna develop Unscrupulous Agent into Helping Hand to double to double up. Keep attacking the hand. That felt like a tricky decision. So let's make him have to decide again. Look at the synergy, though. Look at the helping hand with these upon entry. You've seen Orzhov bounce before, but you haven't seen it with helping hand. This is nutty. We are relentless. Do they discard the full hand? They do. They draw 3. Okay. We need to keep attacking. Okay, so at the beginning of your end step, if you descend this turn, you put a board counter. If there are 3 or more counters. Okay, we have some time. We have some time before this transforms. So first of all, we're gonna go for the shadowy backstreet this turn. And we got Parting Gust. Parting Gust is not bad, actually. Parting Gust can allow us to just finish attacking their hand. We're gonna attack with these 2. And after combat, we develop Guardian of Urapor. And we bounce the agent, baby. And we keep attacking the hand. They still need mana to do their things. Okay, they are gonna be able to descend this turn. Bitter Triumph gone down, draw 2 cards. Another Bitter Reunion gone down. Gonna discard what? Big Boy Dino. Full swing here. And then what we're gonna do is we are going to Parting Gust. Onto you. In order to attack the hand once more. We're basically playing in a way we're trying to not let them breathe. The more cards we discard from them, the more we screw their mana curve. The more we limit their plays. What? We connect first. I mean, we can be flashy. Okay, let's think about this, because we can sack this to return. But right now we just don't have much going on. I mean, this is another round. I want to attack that card in the hand. So I don't have to go crazy with this. But just in case something weird happens, I'm going to go for a full. Because they could have the card in hand could allow them to draw cards, right? So we want to make sure. We want to make sure that it says up to, so I should be able to do this and just select all the options. Etali hit. As you can see, this is excessive with this current board state because I have none of like my draw options, like my butcher. I can't really capitalize on this, so not really good showcase of this card. But I can decline everything, and I just basically spent 5 mana to discard their card. Like that's basically what I did. Like that's all I did, but it's enough. And keep in mind that if they had more cards in hand, you know, we would be seeing the value here because I would be discarding a total of 3 cards from their hand, right? So that's the power of this deck. Like we just leave our opponent top decking. That's the objective, to leave them top decking and beat them down with our 3 drops. And that is what, 6 in a row? 6 in a row. Why am I 88 still? I'm on fire, man. Man, that was a run. That was crazy. A 6-0 run, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, no, is that a 6-0? Yeah, it's a 6-0 run, but it's even crazier because I'm actually like 10-0. It's because I had a 4-game win streak. Or a 5-game win streak, actually. I'm not even sure. Or even more than that. Like, the amount of games that I've won in a row with this deck is just absurd. Like, it actually doesn't make sense. Like, something, I don't know. Something's going on. Because that's actually, like, really weird. But the deck wins. The deck wins. We did get to showcase Kyla's Reconstruction. Another round, you know, with cards like Lord Skitter's Butcher is when, you know, when we have fodder, we can actually just like draw off as well. In that case, it didn't really do anything because we already like shut down their board and their hand. But that's what this deck does. It's a low curve. It seems like it doesn't have much muscle going on for it, but it is extremely disruptive. It just keeps attacking the hand, and it keeps attacking the board. And because we run a full set of Ruthless Lawbringer, we're not limited to creature interaction. We can destroy anything. Like anything that's a permanent, we can absolutely deal with. Perhaps one of the deck's weaknesses is the lack of graveyard interaction on our end. Like, but we face a Reanimator deck, and we just essentially attack their hand to prevent them from being able to like actually resurrect stuff. So ultimately, the end result was the same in that regard. And it's just that. It's just like the reliable disruption. The never-ending disruption, the ability to recycle them. And then we run out of gas, Kyla's Reconstruction. Let's look at the top of our deck. Let's just dump everything. The fact that it's an artifact or creature allows us to play with Tithing Blade as well. And yeah, I got to showcase a lot ZORALINE. Like ZORALINE with Helping Hand is just beautiful. And I just love like deck building out of the box here, right? Because obviously like everybody was expecting me to just make a bat deck right off the bat. But I wanted to try something a little bit more original, you know? And ultimately I'm happy that I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck as much as I personally enjoy it. Like I know it doesn't have a bunch of the new cards. We're only running 3 new cards with Parting Gust, ZORALINE, and the Mudflat Village. But, you know, I'm going to be showcasing more and more decks with more and more of the new cards. And I am going to be dabbling into the tribes fully as well. Like, this will not be the last you see of ZORALINE. Like, the next time I showcase ZORALINE, it will be in an actual bat deck. Like, I will do that too. But I also, you know, I like just brewing whatever comes to mind, man. And this is a treat. This is a treat to play. So, yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Magic the Gathering content, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. The expansion is out. Rotation is out. We are not going to miss a single upload. No day will go by without a video going up for all of August at the very least. And I hope you guys are excited because I'm going to put out the content, man. I'm going to really dig deep and try my best to build cool decks that showcase the new cards, obviously. And I'm also just ecstatic to finally be playing in post-rotation and having all the Capina cards and all that shit just rotate out and venture into the new standard. It's a wonderful time to be alive. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Love you. Have a swell day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily MTG content. Have a swell day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.